Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. I am going to film a book review and I'm going to talk about My Contrary Mary by Brodi Ashton, Cynthia and Jodi Meadows. They are also known as the Lady Janes. They wrote a trilogy of Jane books where they write about different Janes in history or fictional Janes. The first one in that trilogy followed My Lady Jane, who was like a queen for 3 days before she was beheaded. And the second one I know follow Jane Eyre, and then the third one follows another Jane that I don't remember who Jane it is. So they started a new trilogy. This is the first one in that trilogy, following historical Marys or the non-Marys. This one followed Mary Queen of Scots, my favorite Mary. I love Mary Queen of Scots. Just generally got a bit of an obsession of her, specifically after the TV series Reign. I loved her for many years. I was really excited this was about her. It's set even in the same universe as the first Jane book, My Lady Jane, where they have the ability to turn into animals. It's called Be an Aeonian. There was a lot of conflicts about this time. You know, Elizabeth was queen then, and Henry before her, etc. It was a crazy time. The crazy time before Elizabeth became queen, which is kind of what My Lady Jane is about. And there was a lot of conflicts between Protestants and Catholics, and it kind of made that conflict into like a conflict between like the people who can turn into animals, the people who cannot, like normal people. In this one, My Contrary Mary, we have Mary, who is an Aeonian, but no one knows. She can turn into a mouse, which is that she can then spy on people, etc. And then we follow Francis, which is her betrothed, the future king of France, who also, as we know historically, died of a young age before he and Mary even got a child, and she had to move back to Scotland later. And then we follow a girl named Ari, who is like the daughter of Notre Dame, who is like the dude who, like, at the time people could believe could see the future. So he's a known historical figure. He's also in the series Reign, of course. Sorry, I can't stop comparing it. Follows all of them and this landscape of political shit happening, and you know, a lot of things going on. I really enjoyed it personally. It has like My Lady Jane, as I read. I haven't read the next Jane books, but I do really want to. But My Lady Jane, as I read it, was so much fun because it's just the tone of the stories very like funny and witty. They go out and break the fourth wall a lot, talking directly to you as a reader. And they like, in general, just have a really fun tone. And they are fully aware that after a while in the book, they kind of throw history out the window. They did that in My Lady Jane, and they do it here in My Contrary Mary. It does not exactly go, of course, as history did. It's a different ending altogether, which is super fun. And especially since I knew a lot of Mary's life before, it's especially funny to like compare it to like what you know of real facts, which is like why I actually haven't read the next Jane book to compare it to that, because I wanted to read Jane Eyre before, so I knew the original Jane Eyre story, and then thereby I could read like the Jane Eyre retelling. And then I read Jane Eyre and then I never read the Jane book. But yeah, so I think like you don't need previous historical knowledge at all, because they're just literally the super funniest books. You can just enjoy for the humor and the characters and stuff, but it's still fun to know. Like, they're doing a really good job with it. I did enjoy Mary's perspective, of course. She's my queen. And then Francis is adorable soft boy. He was great. And I didn't enjoy Ari that much, just because she went a lot of back and forth all the time. I do understand she was under a lot of pressure. I just felt that even with that, her character motivations was a bit unclear and confusing. I listened to this on the audiobook on NetGalley, so I got like a review copy in an audiobook, so that was really fun. And I was like, I had to read now this month because the book is coming out the 22nd of June, which I forgot to say in the beginning of the video. And I was like, okay, I should read it before release day so I could post a review. And I was like, oh, but it's Prime Month and I don't want to read something that's not queer. But it turned out that Ari is like into girls, so she has a thing with one of the other, I was going to say one of the other Marys, because Mary Queen of Scots had 4 ladies in waiting. They were all called Mary, which is very funny. They do point it out in the book as well, in a funny way. So it had to turn out that one of the POVs had a FF romance, so it was a bit queer, and I was just like, okay, then it fits, which was fun. But yeah, I did dislike that I didn't like Ari more, just because like she kind of would put on a lot on her. I feel like she was like the convenient character that was just like, yeah, we can make her do whatever, kind of, and I didn't like that. And also there was one thing she did, I don't want to spoil it, but that kind of just, I guess, ruined the story overall for me. It was in the end when like she makes potions, that's like her character too, and she makes this one potion that I feel like makes plot holes. It doesn't really make sense to me that she could do that, because in the universe they have made. If she can do that, then like, and then like they all like just pretended it never happened, kind of like they were all just like, oh, this is totally normal. And I feel like that didn't make sense for the universe, because then if she could do that, then a lot of things could be changed. Like if I feel like what she did should mean more, but it didn't. They were all just, oh, whatever. So that was weird. But yeah, I also found that this was set in the same universe as I said, the first Jane book. That's the only one I read, but some characters from there showed up, and that was great, because I read that like years ago. I still remember a lot of it, and I was just sitting there fangirling, and it was a great moment. It was a really like fan service moment, but also like, I guess, important for the story. A lot of things went down. It was a little bit of crazy, some animals turning, betrayals. It was a good time. I do have a like weak spot for like royalty in general. I really like royalty stories, and I love myself some historical fiction apparently, but I never read historical fiction. So I wish I read more of that, but like the good ones, I guess. And yeah, it was just overall, the tone of the story is just so fun. It's very like humoristic, but like also can be serious. But I do also think that these books could not be for everyone, but you need to look upon it as just fun and like not take it too seriously, I think, because it definitely like is written a bit young, I think, to like appeal to younger people, since it is a YA book. But I really adore that, because I adore that kind of writing, especially when they are aware of it, and I really like that. So yeah, they're doing a fantastic job. I should read more of the Jane books, because now I really want to. I should read the rest of the Mary books, but this one is the first one, so I guess I have to wait a while for the next ones, because they're all like, they don't hang together. You don't need to read the other one, want to read the other, but like in this one I think it would benefit you to read like the Jane book, just because it's set in the same universe, etc. I think I gave it like 3.5 out of 5 stars. I did enjoy it, and I would round it up to 4 instead of like not down to 3. But it was just sad, like some story aspects, not even like it didn't match like the real story, but just like, as I said, that one thing I just felt like was just too convenient and just didn't make sense. Like, yeah, I just didn't like I guess all the characters all the time. I don't know. Miriam was my favorite character. Francis was a soft boy, but he had his moments. I was like, dude. Even though they're all kids, but I, you know, yeah, whatever. This was a great book, okay? Like, really, pick these up if you like have been skeptical about them. I really do recommend them, at least the 2 I read. And yeah, I think that's it for this video. I didn't really have much more to say, so that was it. I hope you enjoy. Pick up this book soon. You see me soon in the video. Thank you so much for watching, and leave a royalty, whatever's royalty emoji down below if you enjoyed this. Bye.